I want to talk about the one about the crowd of people. A lot of people, it's true, they hang around with a certain kind of people because they want to fit in and whatever have you. And me giving da'wah, and Brother Hussein right here, who's one of our elders, and he's been doing da'wah since the 90s. He can tell you this. Brother Abu Rayyan in the back, who does some real, da'wah with the youth in Brixton and the estates, and I'm sure they'll be able to echo exactly what it is I'm going to say, as well as our elders here. That one of the hardest things to do when you're talking to the youth and you're trying to give them da'wah is get to them with regards to the situation of the bad friends. I can take a younger out, I can give him the most emotional script, make him cry, take him to Mecca, he will do Hajj, Umrah, everything, but if he's coming back to the same amount of a group of friends, it's game over. Right, Akhi? You cannot change. It's impossible. You cannot change if your people around you don't change. Do you know that the prophets, all of them had to be shepherds of what? What animal? Sheep. Why not the camel? The camel was arrogant. So what does that show you? That the animal can influence you. The Bedouins, why were they so arrogant? Because they had to deal with the arrogant camels. Try to tell the camel to move. Camel's been stubborn. No, he's not going to move. He's not going to move. The camel's arrogant. And you have to be harsh and tough with it, so it makes you arrogant. You hanging around with a camel influences you. The prophets were shepherds of sheep. The sheep are little miskeen little things. You have to be soft with the sheep. If you're tough with the sheep might start crying. And sheep easily get misguided, like the humans get misguided. So you have to kind of bring them all together. So the animals influence you. Then what about the people? What about the people that you hang around with? Now imagine if you hang around with kuffar. Imagine when you hang around with kuffar. It's a problem, isn't it? I'll ask you a question. Recently there was a young brother, who got murdered, who got killed. Went to his janazah, and his friends were all there. Some of his friends who came to pray his janazah prayer didn't even know how to make wudu. What kind of friend is that, man? He didn't even know how to make wudu. Do you think he knew how to pray the salah, let alone the janazah prayer? Your friend can't even come and pray janazah prayer on you. What kind of friend is that? So I can't remember if it was Imam Ibn al-Qayyim or Ibn al-Jawzi that said, they said, look at who your closest friends are, your top 2, 3, 4, 5 friends. Look at who they are, because they're going to have the front row of your janazah. So if your friends are drug dealers, when I say janazah, I mean funeral prayer, right? Imagine your friends are drug dealers, womanizers, clubbers, sleeping with girls, doing this, that, all this kind of madness. If those are your friends, do you really want them to be the ones standing behind your dead body saying, Allahumma ghfir lahu, warhamhu, oh Allah forgive him, have mercy? You really want him to say that? Furthermore, do you think he knows that? I told you, brothers, on that day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, لا يسأل حميما حميما. No friend is going to ask about another person on that day. No friend is going to ask about another person. You're going to see them on that day. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said a person will wish that he could ransom and sacrifice his own son so he could be saved from the punishment of Allah. Forget your friend being there for you. If you are going to get punished by Allah, may Allah protect you and protect me from the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if we're going to get punished, we would be willing to sacrifice our own children. Not just our children. وَصَاحِبَتِهِ وَأَخِيهِ. Some of you got girlfriends. Some sisters might have boyfriends. Maybe it's halal. You got a wife. You got a husband. Your spouse. Whether she's your wife in halal or whether she's your girlfriend in haram, you would want to ransom her, Allah said. وَأَخِي, your brother, you would want to ransom him. Rather, everyone in the earth, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, every single human being on the earth, if you could, you would sell them. You would say, Allah, punish them. Take my mom, take my dad, take all my friends, take all my boys, take all these girls, take everyone, burn them all, Ya Rab, save me. But you want to ride for them in this life? None of you are riding for each other in the next life. People come to you and say, but we're close. There's no close on that day. Inna yawm al-fasli kana miqata. The day of separation. The day you're going to be separated. Be careful who you hang around with. Especially sisters, wallahi, please be careful. And I also mentioned something, on this topic of companionship. Sometimes it's not who you hang around with physically, but it's who you hang around with online. It's who you hang around with online. If you look at the majority of the people, they become misguided because of the people they have a relationship with online, on social media. Rappers, celebrities, vloggers, people on Instagram. That's a problem online. People build a relationship with them, who want to behave like them. And sisters specifically take heed. This relationship that many of them have with these hijabi YouTubers are a fundamental reason for why a lot of our sisters are becoming, a problem is occurring. A huge fundamental reason. They're watching them every day, and because of them, they're losing their self-esteem and hijab. So slowly, the hijab is watering down. Notice, inshallah, brothers, you guys don't know because you guys don't look at girls. The sisters will be able to resonate. A lot of these hijabi YouTubers, when they started, they were never wearing correct hijab anyway. But at least they used to wear the hijab to the scarf to the point where no hair would be shown in the body. There'd be some loose clothing. Look at those same hijabi girls now. The hijab shrunk, a bit of hair was shown, the clothes went tighter, it became a turban. Now literally, it's not even a turban, it's literally like a bandana wrapped around here, and from the top you can see the hair and his hair hanging out. And you know what, sisters? Now look at you. The journey that you've been watching these girls for the last few years, most likely it's affected you, and you've been on that journey with them. You start walking out the house doing little contouring when you got hijab on, and so on and so forth, and wearing these little outfits. It's because of what you see. So you have to be careful who you hang around with, in person, and who you hang around with online. Well, it all comes back to what the Salaf al-Salihin used to say. Be careful who you lend your ear to. Be careful who you lend your ear to. If there's a person of misguidance, some of them would say, I think it was Abdullah ibn Abbas, he said, if you lend your ear to a person of misguidance, the protection of Allah has been uplifted from you. It was either him or Hassan al-Basri, I can't remember, one of the two. Let's be careful. فَلَا تَقْعُدُوا مَعَهُمْ حَتَّى يَخُوضُوا فِي حَدِيثٍ غَيْرِ. Don't sit with them unless they change their ways. If you do, إِنَّكُمْ مِثْلُهُ. You're going to be like them. You're going to be just like them. Remember, you're going to be with those who you love. If the ones that you love are drug dealers, singers, rappers, whatever have you, or your friends, whatever, who's the ones that you love? You're going to be with them on the Day of Judgment. You're going to be with them on the Day of Judgment. Trust me, hijabi YouTubers are not going to be in a good place on the Day of Judgment unless they make tawbah. Trust me, they're not going to be in a good place.